Have you ever stopped to wonder how we got here? Well, look around you. The screen you are watching this on, the light in your room, the very ideas in your head. Our world is a complex tapestry, woven from threads of human ingenuity. Each thread represents a breakthrough, a moment when a single idea changed the course of history forever. These are not just inventions, they are revolutions. They are the pivotal moments that have defined our journey as a species, from small, scattered tribes to a globally connected civilization. This is the story of those moments, the 10 breakthroughs that truly changed everything. We will journey through time, exploring a carefully selected timeline of innovation. Our approach is what we call timeline to impact. We won't just look at what was invented, but why it mattered then and how it continues to shape our lives today. We will start with the foundational building blocks of society and move through the ages, connecting the dots between each great leap forward. Understanding this chain of innovation is crucial. It helps us appreciate the shoulders of giants on which we stand, and gives us the tools to think about the future we are building right now. In this series, we will unpack 10 specific innovations that have fundamentally altered human existence. The wheel, the printing press, electricity, vaccination, the telephone, the airplane, the computer, the internet, the smartphone, artificial intelligence. Each section will dive deep into the story behind the breakthrough. We'll explore the historical context that gave birth to the idea. We will meet the innovators, the dreamers, and the builders who brought these concepts to life. We will analyze the immediate impact these inventions had on society, culture, and the economy. Most importantly, we will trace their legacy to the present day, showing how these centuries-old ideas are still at work all around us. Join us as we explore the sparks of genius that ignited the world and discover the profound lessons they hold for our own time. Imagine a world without movement. Not the movement of our own bodies, but the movement of things. Heavy things, necessary things. For countless millennia, humanity was tethered to the ground, limited by the strength of our backs. Progress moved at the speed of a person walking, carrying what they could. The earliest societies faced a fundamental challenge: how to transport food, water, building materials. They needed a way to move more with less effort. This wasn't a desire for convenience. It was a desperate need for survival and growth. Without a solution, villages could not become towns. Towns could not become cities. Then, around 3500 BC in Mesopotamia, a simple yet profound idea emerged. Not a single flash of genius, but an evolution. Perhaps it began with logs rolling under heavy loads, then slices of a log, then solid wooden discs, attached to an axle, the birth of the wheel. First use, pottery. Artisans shaping clay faster and more symmetrically. Then, the potter's wheel became the cart's wheel. Humanity set in motion. Immediate impact. Revolutionary. One person with a wheeled cart could move many times more weight. Transformed agriculture. Farmers moving surplus to market, fostered trade between settlements, enabled building of pyramids and ziggurats, hauling massive stones. The wheel, a force multiplier. Extending human and animal muscle, distance became a solvable challenge. Its legacy surrounds us: tires of our cars, landing gear of airplanes, massive container ships, foundation of logistics and supply chains. Every product you own likely traveled on wheels. The wheel moved objects, ideas, cultures, people. It connected communities and enabled empires. The first great breakthrough. The foundation of mechanical progress. For centuries after the wheel, knowledge was a precious and fragile commodity. It was held in the hands of a select few: scribes, monks, ruling elite. Books were painstakingly copied by hand, a process that could take months or even years for one volume. They were incredibly rare and astronomically expensive. A single book could cost as much as a farm. Literacy was a privilege, not a right. Most people lived and died without ever learning to read. Ideas spread slowly and often changed as they traveled by word of mouth. Human knowledge was a locked chest, held by a handful. That began to change in mid-15th century Mainz, Germany. A goldsmith and inventor, Johannes Gutenberg, had an idea. He knew coin punches and wine presses. He wondered if he could combine those ideas to make books faster. His breakthrough was a system, not just one machine. He developed movable type, casting individual metal letters that could be rearranged. He formulated an oil-based ink that stuck to metal type. He adapted a screw press to press ink onto paper. Around 1455, his system produced its first masterpiece, the Gutenberg Bible. The printing press was like a dam breaking. In the 50 years after, about 20 million books were printed in Europe. In the next century, that number soared to 200 million. Book costs plummeted, making them available beyond the church and nobility to merchants and common citizens. Literacy surged across the continent. People could read the Bible for themselves, read classical philosophers, and read the latest scientific discoveries. Ideas left the private club and went public. This explosion lit the fuse for major transformations: the Protestant Reformation, the Renaissance, and the Scientific Revolution. The printing press democratized knowledge. It empowered individuals, challenged authority, and laid the groundwork for education, public discourse, and informed democracy. It was the engine of the modern mind. For most of human history, our lives were dictated by the sun. When it set, the world was plunged into darkness, broken only by the flickering, smoky light of fire, candles, or oil lamps. Industry was powered by muscle, water, and wind, forces that were often unreliable and limited in their application. There was, however, a mysterious and powerful force that had fascinated and terrified humanity for millennia: lightning. It began with thinkers like Benjamin Franklin, which proved that lightning was indeed a form of electrical energy. This sparked a wave of scientific inquiry. Alessandro Volta, Michael Faraday, laid the theoretical and practical groundwork. The breakthrough that brought electricity into our homes and workplaces involved many innovators, but it is most famously associated with Thomas Edison. His true genius was in seeing the need for an entire system. He envisioned a central power station and a network of wires, a grid. In 1882, his Pearl Street station in New York City went live. It was the dawn of a new era. The immediate effect was profound. But lighting was just the beginning. The availability of a reliable power source sparked a second industrial revolution. Electric motors began to replace steam engines. Nikola Tesla's alternating current enabled vast interconnected electrical grids. Within decades, electricity moved from novelty to standard. Radios, refrigerators, washing machines, television, telegraph, telephone, computer, internet. The grid became the circulatory system of the modern world. Think about your life today. It wakes you up in the morning. It cooks your food. It powers the screen you are watching this on. When the power goes out, everything grinds to a halt. The grid is the unsung hero of modernity. As we look to the future, we must generate it sustainably. We must store it at scale. The quest that began with Franklin's kite continues today. Before the modern era, humanity lived under the constant threat of invisible killers. Smallpox, measles, polio swept through populations in devastating waves. This began to change in late 18th century rural England. A country doctor named Edward Jenner made a crucial observation. Milkmaids who had contracted cowpox seemed immune to smallpox. In 1796, Jenner put his theory to the test. He inoculated 8-year-old James Phipps. James Phipps did not contract the disease. He was immune. Jenner had discovered vaccination, from Latin vacca, cow. The discovery met excitement and fierce resistance. But the evidence was undeniable. Vaccination worked. In the late 19th century, a golden age of microbiology began. Louis Pasteur, Robert Koch, they built upon Jenner's work by identifying the microbes behind diseases. Vaccines were developed for diphtheria, tetanus, polio, measles. Those vaccines dramatically changed life expectancy and childhood survival. In 1980, the World Health Organization declared smallpox eradicated, the first and only human disease wiped out. The development of new technologies like the mRNA vaccines created in response to the COVID-19 pandemic shows this 230-year-old breakthrough is more relevant than ever. But the story also echoes the resistance Jenner first faced. Vaccine hesitancy remains a major public health challenge. Scientific progress alone is not enough. It must be paired with public trust and clear communication. Vaccination is more than a procedure. It is a social contract, a promise to protect one another. For thousands of years, communication across distances was bound to the speed of a messenger, a horse, or a ship. The invention of the telegraph was a revolutionary step, but it was still a limited medium. It did not connect people in a direct human way. Alexander Graham Bell, an educator of the deaf, was deeply interested in the mechanics of speech and hearing. On June 2, 1875, Thomas Watson plucked a reed on the transmitter. Bell, in another room, heard a faint twang. He realized they had accidentally transmitted not just a signal, but a sound.
On March 10, 1876, they succeeded. Bell uttered the now famous words, "Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you."
Watson heard the words clearly and came running. The telephone was born. The telephone network grew, weaving an invisible web that changed commerce, society, and personal relationships. For as long as humans have looked to the sky, we have dreamed of flight. For centuries, this dream was pursued by countless inventors, often with tragic results. The key to unlocking this frontier came from a bicycle shop in Dayton, Ohio. Two brothers, Wilbur and Orville Wright, they built a small wind tunnel to test different wing shapes. Watching birds inspired their crucial insight: wing warping. On the cold, windy morning of December 17, 1903, the Wright brothers made history. It was the first controlled, sustained, and powered heavier-than-air flight. The progress that followed was astonishingly rapid. Distances that once took weeks by ship could now be covered in hours. Continents were connected, and the world began to feel much smaller. Today, millions of people travel by air every single day. The Wright brothers didn't just invent an airplane. They gave humanity wings and created the interconnected global village we live in today. Before the digital age, computers were people. This human process was slow, laborious, and prone to error. The impetus for building the first electronic computers came from the crucible of World War II. ENIAC weighed 30 tons, filled an entire room. The key transition came with the concept of the stored program computer. This meant a computer could be reprogrammed simply by loading new software, combined with the invention of the transistor. The transistor led to the integrated circuit, which placed billions of transistors onto a tiny silicon chip. This made computers exponentially smaller, cheaper, and more powerful. This PC revolution democratized computing power. The Cold War provided the motivation. This led to the creation of ARPANET in 1969, a decentralized network. The true revolution in connectivity came from a British computer scientist named Tim Berners-Lee. He envisioned a system linking documents with hypertext. Berners-Lee invented three fundamental technologies: URL, HTTP, HTML. He and CERN made the software available to everyone, royalty-free. They gave it to the world as an open, universal standard. That act ignited an explosion of creativity and connection. The internet transformed from a military project into a public square, a library, a global marketplace. For its first 2 decades, the digital revolution was largely a tethered experience. These two worlds were on a collision course. The true breakthrough came in 2007, when Apple introduced the iPhone. Its masterstroke was the multi-touch screen, allowing users to interact with the software directly with their fingers. The second part of the smartphone revolution was the App Store. This unleashed a tidal wave of innovation. Suddenly, your phone wasn't just a communication device. It was a GPS navigator, a camera, a social network, a universal remote for our lives. It has brought the internet to billions of people who never owned a desktop computer. It has placed the sum of human knowledge in the palm of our hands, making us more connected, more informed, and more powerful than any generation in history. The final breakthrough on our list may be the most consequential of all: artificial intelligence. The revolution came from a new approach inspired by the human brain: machine learning. By analyzing millions of images, a neural network can learn to recognize a cat. We are living through the iPhone moment of AI. It's in recommendation algorithms. It powers digital assistants. It's beginning to help doctors diagnose diseases. Generative AI tools now produce stunningly realistic images, write sophisticated essays. But AI brings profound challenges. What will happen to jobs? How do we prevent misuse? Or generating mass-scale disinformation? Developing AI is not just technical, it's moral and philosophical, asking what future we want to create. As we conclude our journey, a clear and powerful pattern emerges. Each breakthrough acted as a profound connector. The wheel connected settlements. The printing press connected minds. The telephone. The airplane. The smartphone connected us to a single, global network. Progress is not linear. It is exponential. Each layer builds upon the last, accelerating change. Yet, this story is also a cautionary tale. The Industrial Revolution brought pollution. The digital age created division and social isolation. Innovation without wisdom is a dangerous force. With great power comes the responsibility of stewardship. The ultimate lesson is not just admiration for the past, but action for the future. The story of innovation is our story. As we stand on the cusp of the AI revolution and whatever lies beyond, we are not merely spectators. We are the inheritors of this legacy, and we are the architects of the next chapter. Let us commit to building a future where innovation is a means to a more connected, equitable, and truly human world. The spark of genius lies within all of us. The future is waiting to be invented.